So somebody mentioned in the previous episode about the fact that Ghoul perhaps might still honor Suletta's deal despite her not winning. And I thought that was interesting because I had thought about it for like a few seconds in the last episode before I kind of just scratched it off because I thought that Ghoul will just end up doing what he said he's going to do. He's just going to check on the Judgement house and then he's going to leave for his new position as the CEO of the Judgement company. And then after that, he's really gonna have a lot of business things to have to mow over instead of, you know, these other things, especially with Suletta and how he confessed to Suletta, but then Suletta says that she likes someone else or she has somebody else who's precious in her mind. And we had him clip his hair and all that, and that's very much a symbolism of someone giving something up, whether that's your love or your dream or whatever. So I had assumed that that's, I mean, just because he gave up on his love for Suletta doesn't mean that he's just gonna suddenly be like an extreme jerk to her or anything, right? But I do wonder if he will, I mean, he is going to do what he's going to do, and he's going to leave the school after having talked with the Judgement house, but I do wonder if he is going to talk with the house and be like, hey, Earth House, you need to get cut some slack. And you guys, the Judgement house, you've taken enough L's, you understand, right? Maybe not on the same level as Earth House, but you know. I wonder if that's something that Ghoul is going to do, and at the very least that will help for the most part mitigate a little bit of that this extreme stress that Suletta is gonna go down under, right? With her taking her first L and her wanting Earth House to not be bullied anymore, but then she failed that, and then she also lost Ariel as well, so it would help in that whole mitigation, and it kind of makes me hope that Earth House doesn't really, again, I don't know, I have this weird innate fear, which I suppose it resonates very much with Suletta and how, like, perhaps Earth House is not going to see her as useful anymore and they're going to toss her aside. Who knows, perhaps we'll get to see something that's a lot more personal with Suletta, because as I've mentioned before, out of everybody who's growing, Suletta is really the only one who hasn't grown, and we haven't really gotten much into her personal stuff, whether that isn't related to Prospera, of course, you know, it's not related to her mom. We haven't really heard anything that's like about her, like the sort of only personal stuff that still kind of involves Prospera is the short story that we've read that takes it when Suletta is much younger and all that, right? When she first arrived at Mercury and all that. Other than that, we haven't really heard too much about Suletta. Anyways, long rambling aside, if you guys enjoyed the content, remember to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't, and if you didn't like the content, dislike the video and we'll be on our way. Let's get started. For controlling of every kind. And you're telling me that if she's just going, oh, so she's learning. She's working hard. She's trying to get her minds off of things. Holy shit, what the fuck is that? Was I cool? Asking questions in a cool way. Oh. Too fast, and the fucking font on that phone is just not good for me to read. I'll read it later. Alright, so we can see how Suletta's trying to cope with it, right? She's just trying to put on a brave front, a strong front. Saying that, well, you know, since I'm not dealing with all this shit again, I might as well continue on my wish list. Trying to get her mind off of things. But the one thing I'm glad is that Earth House is still here, you know, still trying to give their support for Suletta. Oh, damn, they got a new footage for Ghoul with his haircut, goddamn. Ooh. You can't meet your goals. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, damn, dude, they all disconnected so quick, dude. Damn, dude. Miorine looking good. Damn, dude, when this fucking music kicked in. Wow. It's news to me. Ah, this was before our stuff, alright? So he's starting his own little plan that he's trying to work with, Pale Tech. Oh, it seems like... Mm-hmm. She really came on over. Of course. So you just gotta try other ways. Or of the 2-3 branches, he's already got one of the branch. She's still doing... She's on, like... But it's really, I mean, it's understandable. That's how you can see her outside. It was all my fault, huh? I just wasn't good enough. Oh, shit! Alright. But I'm still gonna talk shit to Suletta. Oh, wow, look at that. Very nice. Loda, you should understand how Suletta's feeling, you fucking L-taker. Oh, shit! Martin still got his little band-aid on. Bandages. They're all leaving Martin. Oh, poor Martin. Oh, you know, I thought about just slapping her, but that's... I won't accept anything less, alright? Look at that Earth house, dude. We're fucking going. Except for Martin. Can't you just talk on the phone? There's Martin. Can I try anything? Goodbye, injured boy, if those bullies come back. Gundnode is the terrorist group. Okay, I was over like. You are, Miss. Is he just gonna straight out? Okay, yeah, because he's not. What the fuck is he here for then? Enhanced persons. I thought you said you were tight-lipped. You know, I can see why people ship these two. That's my father's life. So he's using that as leverage. Dude, everybody's in such fucking nice suits, dude. And by that I mean specifically the ladies. Their uniform is so nice. Why don't we try ending it? Naturally, of course. Negotiating with terrorists? Oh, he's getting to relay the news already, dude. Damn, they're talking shit on Lada. See, look, like I said, Lada, you should understand all these L's you're taking. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She's getting sandwiched, dude. Oh, Feng's coming in. Oh, so he did call her. Okay. I mean, call on her. Oh, what? But she's going to Earth. So then, if she's going to Earth, and like, she's taking Ariel to Earth. Oh, Ariel's talking. Ariel's like, let me see Suletta. I want to see her the last time. Where did it... Yeah, they're getting Ariel. So they're taking her to Earth. Eri's like, come on in. Mm-hmm. Where'd that got you? She feels a little listless. What's the meaning of life? Is she in a memory? She's literally inside Ariel. Oh, there she is. Why do you look like me? Maybe it's the opposite, huh? So you say you don't need her anymore? So you filled in for her. Children of the Coven. Oh my god. Wow! Oh my god. Jesus Christ, that's savagery! We don't need you anymore. Just boot her out in space, dude. Oh, she's actually feeling it for the first time. Oh? So this is when, I can move on my own free will. Ha! I don't need you anymore. Bye, Suletta! You can't cling on to me anymore. Or to Mom. Ooh. Really fucking kicked her out of space, dude! Holy shit! Bye, Suletta! So, where are you going now? Oh, Prospera's picking her up. Bye, Suletta. Really just left her in space. I cannot. Hey, it's just like how, no. Okay, never mind. I was just gonna, whatever. Oh, you know, in space, no one can hear you cry. Suletta deserves to live freely, right? That's why we used her all this time. And now we're gonna fucking toss her aside. And our excuse is she gets to live freely, despite her never ever having that freedom in her life, or at the very least, she thought that she had that freedom in her life, but in reality, it was all just an illusion. God, there was so much fucking information. I still cannot get over that one single scene of Martin in a confession booth. What is that? Was he in a confession booth? And it's Serena. So it's Serena. Cecilia is just behind that. Oh. Not the best way. All right. Oh, very nice. Very nice. All right. What if nobody picks her up? Suletta, I mean. Well, you know, on a good hand, like I said, in space, nobody can hear you cry. All right. Well, I'm gonna go write my notes, and we will be right back to the center. Okay, I want to see the wish list. Let's see. Oh, God, I've been in such a eat lunch, good friend, raise hand in class in a cool way. Can somebody please fucking do with the spacing? It all looks like they're all one word. Meet up with friends to go to and from school. Buy and eat a snack after school. Jesus Christ, like I said, this spacing is god-awful. Celebrate a birthday party with friends. Well, that one's not. Oh, the counseling room. Wait a minute, a counseling room. Hold on. Hold the fucking phone. Hold on. He was a counseling room? Man went into a counseling room? Because what? They were supposed to, he thought that he was just talking to an AI? And it was actually just Cecilia in the back? Alright. 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 What is this scene? Oh, that is so funny. So anyways, we're shipping more people, right? Her arms and legs are extended consciousness. That's us. The Children of the Coven. Okay. But you are not one of her children. You're all Repli children created from my genes. But unlike all these other children who I'm taking with me, you're not a part of this coven. Sorry, Suletta. Get the fuck out of my cockpit. 17 years ago, don't you remember? But it's fine now. Quiet Zero will create a world where Eri can live. God, they say that with such a smile. So we don't need you anymore, Suletta. Bye. Get destroyed. And then this is like, I mean, this is what she does to, she did to, Alon, right? Like, a rejection of sort. Because, like, she never feels this before, because she's not really the one who uses herself. So this is, like, her and her, like, death before her mom puts her body into this. Or this is when it happened. And then we had baby Suletta during this time? Huh? Alright, so that was episode 18 of, wow, I legitimately thought Miorine's Mobile Suit Gundam. I don't know why. Mobile Suit Gundam, the Witch from Mercury. So, well, you know, it certainly started off on a bit of a lighter note, even though it was, it had that much more of a darker undertone behind it, with, Suletta putting on a strong face and all that in order to, well, I mean, to not fucking cry about it all the time, which, understandable. But I like that they kind of started off like that, because I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I can take another sad episode from any anime right now. This week has just been pounding me. Well, I've had some great episodes, alright? Rokudo and Bokuyaba were great. Anyways, I like in terms of the episode title, Our Empty Selves, and how, you know, we've been having this sort of theme and this sort of contrast with one another. And I really like in terms of our empty selves, we get to see the people who perhaps are feeling a little empty. We see the way that they fill it in with certain things, you know, with Suletta, she's currently filling in her wish list right now and how she is trying to fulfill every one of them now that she doesn't really have this big, overwhelming thing that is to protect Miorine's engagement and all that. So now that she doesn't have that, she's trying to, yeah, she feels very empty, and so she's trying to fill that in with the whole school stuff. We see that with someone like Lauda, who... I mean, I would assume feels a little empty himself, and you can kind of see the way that he deals with it, which is to take it out on other people. He's taking it out specifically on Suletta. He literally came all the way to the greenhouse just to tell Suletta to get the fuck out of the greenhouse. And then he walked away, and it's like, alright, Lana, fucking cool. And then we see, as he's walking through the Jaturk house with all the other dudes who were like, wow, cool, it's so cool. If only he had taken up Helm before, you know, if he had taken Helm first, you know, instead of this other fucking guy. So, whether that's Lauda feeling, just that feeling of emptiness for his lack of leadership, I suppose, you know? Who knows? So it is nice to see that as well, and of course we've got to see our duo of just empty people, which is Alon and Noria. Alon had kind of already picked that up on Noria in the first place, and with the way he says, as Noria is out here trying to fucking kill him and all that, he says, let's be honest with each other since both our lives are so cheap. And we've got two little empty people out here. I very much enjoy that. I'll talk a little bit more on Alon's little speech as well, but it's very nice. And then we've got it's not a triple whammy because it didn't have, well, I mean, I maybe you could also count it as a triple whammy, you know, oh baby, a triple and all that, when Suletta gets fucking slam dunked by Eri and Prospera. Holy shit! Absolutely destroyed, dude. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm gonna leave that towards the end. For now, the one thing that I want to talk about are all the small little things. What I wanted to talk about is... Oh, fuck it, I might as well just go to Alon. I love Alon just sitting here, by the way, and him saying like, oh, don't worry. I keep my lips tight. And then he immediately just starts talking about Pale Tech. No, he only keeps his lips tight for the company that's going to keep him safe for the most part, right? And if he knows that he's not safe with them, if they're going to lead him to death, he's just out here like, nah. I wanna fucking say everything about them. So, in terms of this, I like that Alon is out here explaining to Nika about the reality of Gundams, because for someone like Nika, Jesus Christ, okay, for someone like Nika, we're still just out here in bandages. Anyways, for someone like Nika, she's never really experienced this whole Gundam thing before, because she's only seen the Gundam that is Aerial, and she doesn't really see how a Gundam affects people, because it's never really Suletta who's using the permit link, whatever it is, you know, it's always been Aerial, so that's why it never affects her, and so that's why Nika doesn't really understand that Gundam actually kills people. So it's very nice to see that revealment for Nika, but also Alon just being able to just say whatever the fuck he wants, and him going like, no, I'm actually not Alon, you might have seen some other Alon before, but that was not me. And he started talking about the experiments from Pale Tech, but also an interesting thing that Pale Tech uses a unique AI that chooses its next leader, and so the next leader is Alon Karas. But because of the whole dueling thing, they had to started using his face in order to pilot the Gundams, because, well, it will kill them eventually, and they don't want the real Alon to die. What if Alon's new plan is, fuck it, dude, if I've already lost my identity, am I supposed to just go after the real guy? Fuck him up. But he did say that the guinea pig experiment was to create enhanced humans and to get them to be able to pilot Gundams without dying, even though they're still dying, but, you know, they're able to pilot Gundams for just a tiny bit more, I assume. But I assume they've only started the whole face stealing thing. Well, not face stealing, since they're just, I mean, Alon is approving of it, I would assume, because he doesn't want to die. The real Alon, I mean. So they've just started the face swap thing because of the duel, but they were already still using enhanced humans for the piloting of Gundam. This will lead back to Nika, but we see more of Chuchu, which is always nice. It's always nice to see more of Chuchu, and they were talking about how Chuchu's changed, because she used to punch first and talk later. And it's an interesting growth that we've been seeing from Chuchu as well, you know, because she has still been very adamant about Spatians and all that, and yet here is someone like Suletta, someone like Miorine, who is coming in to help them, despite this animosity between Earthians and Spatians. And we can see that in the previous episode when they wanted to know where Nika is, and then Miorine comes in and she gives her all this information that she would have never been able to get herself because she's an Earthian. It's a very nice thing to see for Chuchu, and also, of course, with Chuchu having witnessed this war between this mini little war that is in Plant Keta between Earthians and Spatians, and then having that whole trauma coming back again with the Earthians coming in to wreck up the place during the whole Battle Royale stuff. And her, in that moment, deciding that she's going to save a Spatian, of all people, right? She could have taken the time to, I don't know, fight off the invaders and all that, but she decided that that's not what she wants to do, and instead she's going to save these Spatians who she hates so much, and I very much enjoy that. And I love that after Lola be bugging and all that, and fucking calling Suletta the Mercurian wench and all that. And he goes and he says, hey man, I'm not gonna fight you, Chuchu. Despite her ready to take up arms, you know, that's what she was planning to do, to throw fists for Suletta. But she sees that Lala's like, I'm not gonna fight you because you've saved my life. And as he walks away, the other girl thanks Chuchu for, you know, the girl who was crying about how Lala needed to be saved. So here is Chuchu, who decided, you know what, you won't understand how Miorine feel, or Miorine won't understand how you feel until you talk to her, which it's kind of the whole thing with the series, honestly. It's just them not really talking to each other. And it's kind of the both of them are hiding away from one another, or the other is just oblivious in the situation. Although in this point, right now, the both of them are avoiding each other. But it's very nice that Chuchu is the one who says that, and she's the one who's suggesting that, hey, maybe you should go see Miorine. So everybody, it's so funny, everybody went and left except for Martin. And it's like, what the fuck? So Martin's overhearing this as this girl is talking about, I know I wrote all the name of the Earthian house, but I still can't figure out who's this who. Anyways, with this girl talking to Chuchu about how she's changed, and Chuchu says, well, she's been changing because of Nika. She's finally starting to understand this rhetoric, this idea that, or this ideal of Nika, and how Nika wants, peace between Earthians and Spacians, and Chuchu never really understood that, but she was still friends with Nika. But again, with all this character improvement, character development on Chuchu, she's finally come to the understanding of Nika, and we see that Martin feels guilty about this in just the way that he, grips his fist and everything. He hears that, and he's just like, god damn it. And I will not get over this fucking scene. It's so fucking stupid. I love it though. Which, this scene, right? The counseling room, the counseling room that has a robot on it, which I assume he thinks that he's only talking to a robot, but then there's a room behind the counseling room, and Cecilia is just sitting there. Like, did she just happen to see Martin, like, making his way to the counseling room? She's just like, oh man, I gotta get in the back of this. Why is there I don't understand. Like, if it's a counseling room, like, is it like a confession booth? Like, the priest is supposed to be on the other side, and it's just like, I've forgiven you of all your sins, but... Or, well, it's a counseling booth, so it's supposed to counsel you. But, like, there's somebody in the back this whole time, right? So it's not really the robot that's talking. I don't know. I don't know what this thing is supposed to be. But we see Martin here, and he says, I learned my friend was committing a crime, and I turned her in. And he's trying to fight with his own guilt by saying, a crime is a crime. I did the right thing, right? As a head of the house, I wanted to protect everyone. I've done nothing wrong, right? I guess when he says that he's the head of the house, he's gonna protect people, I guess that's what he means. I really like that he's also got bandages on his head. Look, dude, Nika's gone through worse. But I assume that, like, he assumes that, Nika got taken, right? That Nika got taken by, like, the space police and all that, I would assume. But, for the most part, he just knows that he did call her in, and he turned her in as, like, terrorists and all that, and that's why the space cops before had come in, and it was just like, hey, we need Nika right now. She's a terrorist. So, well, that's that. Yeah, I did nothing wrong. I did the right thing, didn't I? And that's the shit. I cannot get. Look, she's so smug. Look at her. Ayo, we're gonna get more screen time of her? Hell to the fuck yeah, dude. Hell to the fuck yeah. And also, this sort of couple type, I mean, it's very ship-worthy. I understand how people just ship someone within, like two characters will literally only have 2 seconds of interaction, and then suddenly people are just like, that's shipping material right there! But I will say, this storyline right now with Martin is getting spicy. Can't wait to see what's going on next. And then I've got these 2 other minor things, which is the Gundnode, and it seems like it's a gun bit in mobile suit form, so it's kind of like what those other things that we saw, like, Sophie was using before, I believe. That's sort of like that. But it's also to, like, expand Ariel's data storm network. So, that's fucking good for them. And also, they had the speech in the beginning, which is just, perhaps it was just an emphasis on Suletta, trying to get into class and studying and all that, right? But the guy goes and says, you know, the teacher, the permit is responsible for controlling and managing systems of every kind. And I'm sort of like, okay, so, like, Can Ariel do something about that? I don't know. Well, we'll just have to see, you know, when Quiet Zero kicks in and all that. But yeah, we've learned a little bit about the Gundnode. We're still seeing Belmeria, but right now Belmeria is working with Shinsei development again because, well, I mean, it's either that or she gets fucking put on an engine, put in front of an engine by Peltech. But the next time we see Belmeria, it is Feng who is coming up to her because, as Miorine told Feng, that she's got the opportunity. My light just died again. Uh-oh. Miorine gave Feng the permission to look into Shinsei development, not to look into the Gunarm Inc. in general, right? For her to be able to go in and out. But here is Feng coming straight for Belmeria. And just sandwiching her, by the way. Like, she's got her coworker, her, you know, her company in the back, just coming in and sandwiching her, dude. Goddamn, dude. Belmeria's not getting out of this. So, well, we'll have to see what's going on there. But we've still got Feng's side of the story, where she is supposedly the mediator for, I assume, the bigger government, because sometimes I forget that the Bennett group is not the government, they're just a fucking corporate business. So we'll just have to see what Feng is doing later on, where we're getting very small bits and pieces of all the other storyline that's currently happening in the story, in this series right now, so very fun. And getting on over to the presidential election and everything, we hear that the vote for the president is in 2 weeks, and currently Shaddiq is at 81 and Miorine is at 19%. So he's got the upper hands at the current moment, and he's already told Miorine that while they were fighting for Ariel and all that, I've gotten the support of Peltech. So with him getting the support of Peltech, and this vote essentially is of the three branches, and he is, you know, of the one branch, the Grassly Defense, and he's got Peltech to come in and support him. That's quite the fucking support, right? And he's also, with the way that what he's doing right now with, like, the Earthian stuff, right? I would assume he's also getting support for that as well. I mean, the other thing that he's doing is he's trying to sell, I keep on saying that he wants to sell assets, but I assume that's what he said to his dad. He wants to sell items, he wants to sell, like, weapons and all that to the Earth people in order to give them weapons to defend himself, and hopefully that'll deter another war and deter the Spatians to try and fight them, because, well, oh my god, they've got these super big powers now, they can match up to us, because usually the Earthians have, like, very shit items, and the Spatians just come in with their flying skateboards and everything. Just fucking dunking on them, dude. We also saw that Shaddiq was trying to strike a deal with Prospera, but Prospera, you know, kinda is figuring out what the hell he wants. Because, oh, if you wanted a Gundam, you could have just gotten those Gundam parts from the Earthians. But, oh, you said that they self-destructed, but even if they self-destructed, you can still get the damaged parts. Unless something bad would happen if you were to retrieve them, right? So it's obvious that you're hiding something. But yeah, he's over here trying to get Prospera. It was very interesting to see the interaction between Prospera and Shaddiq, because, I mean, Shaddiq is able to put on a mask of his own as well. But, whoo boy. And also, we can see with him selling a lot of, like, or transferring the group business to Earth and all that, and with the people saying, aren't we selling these off too cheaply, he's using the leverage of his dad being kidnapped by terrorists, I assume, or something, or whatever. It's whatever it is. He's just like, this is, my dad's life is more important than the prices of whatever that he's selling right now. So he's using that as leverage, and it's, I mean, understandable. But because of all this, he's getting very favorable votes, and as Prospera says, she gives a little bit of a hint of this fucking news of, like, the civil war that they say is happening on Earth right now. I mean, understandable. And so we hear from Ghoul, who says anger won't be ended by violence, which he has seen that firsthand now on Earth. And Miorine hears that, and she's just like, yeah, that's right, we should end this, but we should end this through non-violent means. Did I just say memes? We're gonna end this by memes. The memes, they will save the Earthians. Non-violent means. And she's gonna go to Earth. She's gonna bring. Is Ghoul coming with it? Well, we know Prospera's coming because, well, she's gotta bring Ariel along because, as much as it is, these people are armed, and if you come here unarmed, you might as well just you might as well just give them a fucking free ticket to take you in as a fucking prisoner. So it seems like she wants to come in to end the Quinn Harbor riots. And that will be their track record, you know, to just be like, hey, we're the sort of person who is going to end all of this through non-violent means, and I would assume give support of the Earthian companies as well, and maybe the Spatians will be like, wow, this is a new method that we've never thought about before. So we've got all that going on, and finally, well, actually, we also saw Kanaji again, right? He's the head of the Dominicus. He's the Dominicus commander. And it seems like, I don't remember on Ghoul and whether, well, if I remember, did Ghoul was supposed to be a part of Dominicus, right? Eventually? And that's why he would know Kanaji? Alright, anyways. Yeah, we have that now. He's actually finally be able to go in on Earth instead of having to just sit around Earth. In the space around Earth, right? So good for him. Anyways, the Earth House brought Suletta to where she was supposed to talk to Miorine, but Prospera overhears that, and so she decided to get Suletta on over. Well, she's also talking to Eri as well, because I assume that's this helmet's the reason why she's able to talk to Eri now, and that's why she's just been constantly wearing it as well, right? In hopes that Eri is talking to her in long terms as well, like long-term distance, like long distance. But with the words of Eri, Prospera decided that she's gonna let Eri do what she wants, you know? Took Suletta inside, took her out of space, which I cannot get over. Alright, you know what, let me go through this again. So, we've got Suletta talking about how she never thought she'd see Ariel again, but Ariel just wants to see her for the last time before booting her out of the pilot seat. But she talks about how, you know, she feels like Miorine doesn't need her anymore. It's this constant blame game on herself, right? We were seeing it when Suletta was talking about it to Chuchu, and how, like, oh, it's not her fault. It's not her fault that she abandoned me. It's my fault for doing something wrong that caused her to abandon me, which, look, alright, sometimes it's good to look at yourself internally, but this is a little bit too much, Suletta. She talks about how, like, she's moved forward, but where is she now? And, okay, so in this point, Eri's able to take her inside her collective consciousness, I would assume, or is this like, this is the area that this is the space that she's able to be in. So this is like the permit, the data storm. There you go. Is that what it is? The data storm? Because she's technically just permit particles. Okay, so she gets taken into this, and Eri, I don't know, I keep writing Ariel in here instead of Eri, but like, whatever. Anyways, Eri is talking about all the good times, you know, all the good times that Suletta did, that she enjoyed with Suletta, and the Children of Covens, who are all the ones that are smiling out here, right? They're just saying, hey, you were the key, and we don't need the key anymore, so get fucked, Suletta. Absolutely get dunked on. This is an entire episode. Towards the end of this, actually, it's just her getting dunked on. 17 years ago, don't you remember when mom, what does that mean? Like, when mom took her? Like, cause like, she's seeing memories again, right? And this is the part where I would assume this is when she gets transferred over to Eri, cause like, we see, Eri gets transferred to Ariel. Like, This is when she's just, like, very stiff now. You know, her body's limp and everything, and then we see it just, like, her mark vanishes. That comes in, and then this hits, and then this is why this is Suletta, right? And then Suletta is getting, like, a more... I don't know. But I would assume this is, like, the time when she gets transferred over to Ariel and all that. But, yeah, Eri says she can move her own free will now that she hit the permit score of 8, and she no longer needs a pilot, and she says, you can't cling to me anymore. Not to me or Mom. I'm just like, okay, fucking cool. So she gets rejected, she gets booted out. Prospera fucking comes, puts the low SOS tag on her. It's just as Eric says. So, like, that's Eri's full name, right? It's just as Eric said, go back to school, Suletta. It has all you need to fill your heart. Well, that's a really bad thing to say, especially with our current economy. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So she goes and does that, right after what fucking Ariel said, because what Eri said, because Suletta is still in denial at that point, but we have this point, right? So with Prospera saying, are you sure about this, Eri? What if she came with us? And then Eri says something back that we don't know what she says, but she just responds, you're right, Suletta deserves to live freely, doesn't she? And that's this one point when she takes off her mask and she's not smiling. So, like, I mean, her going mask off, but her taking her mask off is like that. Perhaps this is the feeling that is very truthful, that she feels in her heart at some point. And it kind of makes me wonder if, like, is it because now that you can talk to Ariel, then that's why you're feeling this way? But at the same time, she has her mask on all the time, so you don't know whether the things that she says is the truth or not, or if she's just fully using it to manipulate people, right? With the way that she talks about Suletta to Miorine, and how she says, well, she follows everything that I want to do. And it... Okay. Now that we've gotten all over this, right? The only thing that I'm currently thinking of, you got a dog. Suletta is that dog. I know that people like to compare her to a dog and all that. Suletta is that dog. You took that dog in, maybe since puppyhood. You know, you raised that dog for maybe 3 years or something. And then, because, like, I don't know, 3 years is way past human years. I forgot how many human year it is in dog years. But, you know, you've raised that dog for like 3 years or so. That dog is super loyal to you. It will do anything for you. And so now what do? You take that dog, you put it in the car, you drive it off into a fucking forest or some other fucking, you know, in an area where, like, there's barely anybody there. Like space. And you just open the door, you just shove that dog off and you just drive away. That's all I can think about in this situation right now, right? You've taken this dog, you've cared for it for so long, it is dependent on you, it is loyal to you, it will do anything to you, do anything for you, and then you've just drove it off to an abandoned place and just walked it off, and now it's just gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? How can I live? What is happening right now? And it's very easy. It's very easy to put anger on the people that is hurting Suletta right now. And I can definitely feel that anger, albeit it's very muted right now because I don't know. I feel like I'm just very I'm very dejected from Prospera in general. I'm just so used with her fucking antics at this point. I'm just like, whatever. I don't care. And it's just, so we still have to figure out what is Miorine's plan, right? Because like we're all talking about, by we I mean Prospera and Miorine are all, and Eri as well, are all talking about like, we want the best in Suletta. We want you to be happy right now. And it's like, excuse me, she's going through the worst of times right now. The thing that she needs the most is support, not you guys fucking saying, go fuck yourself. Do your own thing, Suletta. Right? Like, I'm sorry. Suletta, because of Prospera, Suletta killed. You know, she's willing to do anything for you. And now it's just like, alright, fam. See you later. Oh, baby, a triple! Oh man, I wrote the note saying that Eri says that she isn't needed anymore. Tells Suletta isn't needed anymore. But she says that after Suletta telling Eri that Miorine doesn't need her anymore. You know, she's like, man, I feel like I've been abandoned. And then Eri's just over like, by the way, we don't need you anymore. We're abandoning you. Talk about trauma just resurfing again immediately. And then after getting booted out, Prospera comes and just be like, yeah, you know, just like what Eri said, just go back to school or whatever. See you later. Oh my god. Oh my god. I cannot. You know what also pisses me off a little bit? Is the fact that Prospera says that Suletta deserves to live freely instead of following them. And so I'm just over like, okay, so if she's following you guys, then she's not living freely, which I can kind of get because she believes and follows you guys she's very loyal. And because of that, she doesn't really have an identity on herself, right? Because as what the Children of the Coven says, you are a repli children of Eri, and because Eri doesn't have a body, you filled that in. Now Eri can't do all these other things because she doesn't have a body. You fill that in, and so it's like, are you all this time? Were you living the life of Eri, or these thoughts that you have? Is that somewhere being pulled from Eri? If you are a repli children of, created from Eri's genes. You know, like, is she actually living as herself, or is she living as, or was she living as Eri this whole time? But now that Eri is able to control herself and move Ariel of her own free will, and like that means that Eri can now be herself, and so Suletta should become her own I mean, this is where they're building up to, right? With Suletta having to become her own person and having to grow up because, again, she's the only person who has not grown in this series. She's been very stagnated. So, I can see where the buildup is going, you know, with her becoming her own person. But it's like, I don't know, maybe this whole tough love thing is, maybe it's good for her, but I don't know. It's like the Children of the Coven says, Quiet Zero will create a world where Eri can live. But it's not a world that Suletta can live in. I suppose, maybe, now I think about it, is Prospera just planning on fucking bringing herself into the data storm as well? Like, what's going on there? You know, maybe if she becomes a part of that as well, she can live with Eri forever. Anyways, yeah, it's a world where Eri can live, except for Suletta. You know, it's a world that maybe Prospera can live as well, except for Suletta. So, get fucked, Suletta. Get dunked on. You lost everything. Great. Now we're gonna get the fucking sad episode in the next seconds. Like, Suletta was just trying to put on a strong point this whole time, but everything's shedded, and hopefully, I mean, I would assume she's gonna get picked up by somebody with that SOS on her. Bye, Suletta. You know, going back to that fucking dog analogy, right? Of this right here, of Suletta just crying in space, and we can't even hear her cry because she's in space. So her crying in space, and then the car, the car, aka the spaceship, is driving off into the distance. They abandoned the dog in space, guys. No! Again. It's very easy to put your anger out on all these people who have hurt Suletta. very understandable. And as I said again, all these agains, you've built her up to this to this point in her life where she believes in you, she is loyal to you, she's almost dependent on you, kind of like the way that she's a little dependent on Ariel, and then you're just gonna cut her off, go cold turkey on her, you know, and say, don't cling to me or mom anymore. And it's like, excuse me? Hello? Alright, maybe you should wean her off, but no, going cold turkey. And then we have Prospera, who goes and says, go back to school, it'll fill up your heart. And it's, I'm like, yeah, it'll fill up her heart with absolute fucking junk. As Suletta literally says to Eri, I went to school and everything, but it hurts not having Suletta, I'm getting everybody's names. We're having way too many fucking names in this series now. I feel bad, I feel bad that Miorine is not here, that I don't get to hang out with her and all that, right? This whole school life thing, perhaps to her right now, feels very empty without Miorine, and without this these pillar of support that she's been clinging on to a little bit too much. But these pillars of supports that she's had in her life before has just absolutely crumbled down. And one thing is that I'm still glad that again the Earth House is still on her side, and I assume that they're going to have to pick her up. Oh, what happened, Suletta? You got abandoned? Don't worry, Earth House will come. We are the fucking dog sanctuary that you need. we're gonna pick you up, girl. You don't have to come and join in all this war or anything anymore. Don't worry. But that is all I have. That's all I can muster right now. And yeah, I very much enjoyed this episode. It was very nice. We had so many of the different plot lines that have been branching out this whole time. So it's very nice just to see itty pieces of them, right? So it's nice, and it will just be interesting to see where everything correlates with each other, right? I would assume they all correlates to the presidential election. So that's all the things that's happening right now. So if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.